Wow. All right. Can y'all see how fucking excited I am? What's up, y'all? Breaking down 2 Thomas Pridgen licks. Today or tonight, wherever you are, I'll find you. I got the fucking Thomas Pridgen paradiddle t-shirt, handwritten by Thomas Pridgen himself, Thomas. So real quick disclaimer, I'm not saying he uses these 2 licks everywhere. He's very comfortable with these licks, so he plays them a lot, and he probably doesn't play them in every video you've seen, but he's probably done a variation of these same 2 licks, I guarantee you, in at least one video that you've seen of the god. So real quick, also to do this lick, at least for this first one, you're gonna want a stack. I'm using a custom K 20-inch ride on the bottom, and then some shit cymbal. Oh fuck, dude. Some shit cymbal in the middle, so that goes on top of the custom K ride. Go Zildjian, y'all know. If you want to play like Thomas Pridgen, you gotta play Zildjian. And then I have a low volume Zildjian. This is a Crash, I believe. Yeah. So that adds like sort of like this rattle, like when you play the whole when you play the whole thing, it's just like, because the low volume doesn't really sit on top of it. It just kind of hangs there, so you can hit it and get sort of this crash sort of effect, or like a chain link. All right, without further ado though, let's fucking break these down. Fill number 1. It's pretty much just all 16th note triplets, I believe, at the beginning, and it's kind of funky because when you're gonna do the same thing twice, and on the second time you're playing on the upbeat of so it feels like you're sort of behind in a way, but it works itself out. Check this out. So that's basically the breakdown of it. Also, he does this thing at the end. It's like almost like a pretty shuffle. So I'll break that down real quick. So I'll play one more of the 16th note fill, and then going into that part. Check it. So that whole thing together. Play the whole thing at a slow BPM in a beat. So it'll take some getting used to at first, and for added difficulty, you can do just sort of pedaling the hi-hat every beat. It really gives it a completely dynamic shape. Yeah. Let's try a medium tempo. So yeah, that's kind of it, guys. You really want to clue in on every time you hit with the right, you want the bass to hit with that as well. Be real conscious of that. And aside from that, it's really just accenting the left and ghost noting every other note on the snare. And what's helpful too is whipping your wrist right there. So instead of moving my arm over every time, I'm just going. So really clue in on that. And you can literally just sit here. Wrist action is key. One more thing you want to mess with this lick is orchestrating it and making it your own by adding your own musical vocabulary to it. Add the toms in there. You can move the left hand around so you're hitting the hi-hat. So you're just kind of doing this motion, which I still don't really have down, but I'll show you. Have fun with that. Like, seriously, this will totally open your mind as far as in terms of stuff you can play. And Thomas Pridgen, I think, does that. He'll do stuff that you work a lot on, and to really get it down, you really have to start slow. But once you have it down, it's like a whole other world is opened. So that's one thing that I've really dug into when I'm studying Thomas Pridgen, because he's just like, he's like the second coming of Tony Williams. I honestly believe that. For this one, on to the next one. It's based around quintuplets and septuplets. So you're going to play this sort of thing where you burst and then do 3 more notes, right, left, left. So it turns into a septuplet. So I'll play the whole thing together. You start with a quintuplet, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 on the snare. And how he goes into it, he's hitting the ride, so it's like 6 technically, but he starts the lick on the 1. That is the meat of this lick. Do do da do do da 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 da. You're playing that burst 1, 2, 3, 4, and then right, left, left. You play the burst twice. You do that whole thing 3 times, and then that goes into this triplet lick to finish it off. Quintuplet, septuplet sort of thing 3 times, and then da dun 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 da 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 oh ba. And what he's doing there, you really want to get that down in terms of where the bass drum is and where it's hitting. So bum 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 da, crash. Hopefully that makes sense. I'll play the whole thing and hopefully it'll make more sense. That is like the Thomas Pridgen OG, that little burst thing. And a lot of gospel drummers, I know they don't want to be called gospel drummers, but I'm talking about like guys like Chris Coleman, Eric Moore. They do this like a lot, and you can play it in 30-second notes, and it sounds even cooler. It sounds like, but it's just like, what the fuck did he just play? I'll play it slower, just before, to really break it down more. in a beat. Slow. He plays it around 180, 200 BPM. So you just get into this motion of this like fanning sort of, it's like sweep. Check it out. I'm over exaggerating, but he sort of has this sweep. I mean, you can watch the video in slow motion, and he's doing the same. Like he just looks so relaxed. At higher speeds, you kind of have to not tighten up, but you have to be a little bit more controlled with it, so you're not out here with it, you know. And he plays it a lot faster, obviously. You'll get there, I promise. I hate when people are like, "You'll never be Prodigy Thomas Pridgen." It's like no one will ever play like that person, but that doesn't mean you can be as good as them or better than them, and like really work on that and focus on playing like that person, but not copying them, like pulling from them. Anyway, so let's do medium tempo. So not perfect, but that's as fast as I can play it probably right now. And once you have this idea down, same thing. You can orchestrate it in some ways that are really cool, actually. So I was coming up with this one, like. Etc. As 80/20 drummer says. But you can also throw that lick in with another lick that I sort of worked on by Darion Javon, originated by Vinny Caliuta. So right, left, kick, right, left, kick, flam with the right. One more. Right. So you can add those two licks together like Tony Hawk does. I've brought this up before, but Tony Hawk would talk about how he would mix two tricks together and come up with a completely new trick that no one else was doing. So you can do that same thing with the Tony Hawk mindset, adding those two licks together. Sounds like this. Ghost note every note on that burst, except for this one. You want to accent that last right. So check it out. kind of fucked up there, but you get the idea. So guys, that about does it. Keep orchestrating it in different ways. That was just something that I came up with that I think is really cool. And you don't have to burst on the first part of that grouping. You can do it on the last part. So yeah, guys, thanks for watching. Like and subscribe if you dig it. Share it if you dig it. And if you dig it, then thank you. Keep watching. It's gonna get better. Peace.